Hi, my name is Antoine and I'm a shamanic healer and ceremonialist. In my last video I spoke about the relationship with spirits and spirits of water. I wanted to make a small video about patience as maybe a fundamental in shamanic practice and animistic practice. Many people who are in the modern world interested in shamanism or animism, so a relationship to a direct relationship to the living world, to the spirits of nature. Many people are very keen to experience something, to feel something really different from their experience of the surface of things, of the surface world, and that is very legitimate. That is a very good thing to have that kind of call, drive to experience something, a deep relationship with nature. So the drive in itself is a very good thing. Now, all shamanistic and animistic cultures have an understanding that this process of deepening relationship takes time and it takes perseverance, some form of endurance. And there are several reasons to this. One of the reasons, as I've mentioned quite a few times already, is that relationship is established through some form of keenness to know the other being. And like any, for example, human friendship, this will take some time, because one gets to know the other person and vice versa, because one gets to know oneself, because trust is established with time. And this is no different with nature. Trust is established with time, especially in our world where we are very estranged from certain nature spirits, or certain spirits also have experienced a lot of disrespect from human beings. A lot of it unconscious, but still some form of disrespect. If you go onto an ancient mine site, you will feel what that is like. You'll feel, or you can feel, even if you're not experienced, how the beings within the ground experience, or have experienced and continue to experience, the presence of human beings who come to just take without honoring. And I said ancient site, I don't mean ancient as in, because the really ancient sites, in many cases, the cultures that use those sites will make a lot of offerings, because they'd be taking various metals or salt from the earth. They'd make a lot of offerings because they understood they were taking something. But if you look at more modern sites, you will feel, in many cases, I'm in a place where there are many mining sites for iron, and many places are very disrupted still. What they would require is ceremonies and offerings to kind of restore the balance with those beings, and so restore the trust. So time is required to establish trust. Time is required to get to listen to the other being you're trying to get in touch with. And so cultures that then operate with those beings, so that's another level, have a very clear understanding. You can operate and work with those beings to attain certain results, whether it's healing or whatever, without a very, very firm relationship. That takes time. And this is what is learned in shamanic cultures, and this is what is learned also in the experiences of spontaneous initiation by the spirits for the shamanistic people or healers around the world. I may come back into this process. It is not because, for example, those healers were spontaneously initiated by the spirits that this is a very quick fix where they access immediately something. The first step usually is that they become very disrupted and very ill for a very long time in order for them to be transformed. So there's a lot of fantasy or dreaming really about this in the modern world, that you can really establish those relationships and also benefit from the powers or the power or various operative powers that come from those relationships in an instant. I think that is one of the pitfalls also of using certain psychedelic or entheogenic substances or plants without understanding that they are usually taken within usually a tradition that has a long process to integrate that relationship, and also what that relationship causes within the person undergoing the apprenticeship. So of course it's very interesting to use those things nowadays for certain people anyway, in order to access another experience of the world. And those spontaneous openings for certain people are very transformative. But if you build your shamanic practice on only that, it's very likely to be very unbalanced, because you are, in this case, entering an apprenticeship with the plant spirits. I'm not saying this is impossible on your own, but what happens really is any form of apprenticeship with the spirits, with a master, healer, or shamanistic person, is you are really dissolving certain aspects of your personality, certain patterns. In the shamanistic mindset or aim, this is for you to operate not from your egoistic personality or from the limited aspects of your personality. Not all is wrong with your personality, or nothing is wrong with the personality, but not all aspects are either limitative or you could say completely without need to be examined. But those practices are meant to dissolve things, or the experiences brought by the spirits are meant to dissolve certain things. And this is usually a very difficult process. If you are undergoing a process of a long process of apprenticeship with a person, or with nature spirits, or with other forms of spirit in trance, you have to be prepared for certain things that are comfortable for you, or certain things you might be clinging to be transformed and dissolved. And this is usually a difficult process. In all cases, this requires kindness towards yourself. So I'm not saying one shouldn't practice kindness within those difficult processes. And it requires perseverance, and it requires patience. Now patience in this case is also being kind towards yourself, because it allows you to approach things in a progressive way and give yourself time to integrate whatever's happening for you. It also allows you to really understand, value those spirits you're entering in relationship with. I'll probably come back on the subject of patience and perseverance, because it is part of the process of ritual also. I hope this is helpful. If there are any questions, a lot here was covered in different directions, so if there are questions, don't hesitate in writing your questions, and I'll answer probably with another video. Blessings to all.